This goes out to all my people who have plans to come to the United States or want to come travel to the United States and are like on the fence about it and don't know what to do with everything going on here. Don't come. My recommendation is to 100% boycott this country. Do not spend any money here. Do not plan any travels here. Show them that the world does not need the United States, because they don't. So please just boycott. Boycott.
So don't come to America right now. I mean, all the obvious reasons why, but this is not safe for you. I just heard about 2 German young men who flew in to Honolulu Airport who were detained by ICE. They were questioned for hours. They were strip searched, naked, strip searched. They were placed in green jumpsuits and they were put in a holding cell with criminals. Don't come here. It's not safe. It's not safe for me. I'm born and raised here. It's not safe for me. It's definitely not safe for you. Please, 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 please. Don't come here right now. Don't come here right now.
A few days ago, I saw a post on social media where someone said, America is that country where you can come with nothing, with as small as $20, and you'll be fine. But seeing all of the posts I've seen on social media in recent time, are you sure that is still real? Okay, because it has always been painted as a land of opportunities, as a place where anyone can make it if they just work hard enough. It's a dream that has drawn millions from all across the globe, chasing the promises of a better life, safety, and freedom. But lately, more and more people, including immigrants who once believed in that dream, are warning other people, do not come to America. Now tell me, at what point do we get our American dream? Because some of us are still left behind. Anyway, guys, welcome back again to the YouTube channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I have other clips I've gathered for you guys of so many people telling people do not come to America, how America is right now. America has become so tough to live in. Grocery prices, house, everything is just on the roof. Well, let's take a look at some of the clips I gathered for you guys. Then I'll come back with more commentary. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch, then I'll come back with more commentary.
So I've canceled my next trip to the United States. I was meant to be going there in later April. I was looking forward to it as well, like going to Boston, New England, beautiful places, lovely people. In fact, I even have both friends and actually some relatives in Maine, but I've canceled it because ICE, or whatever the hell it is detaining people. I mean, they detained a young Canadian for 10 days. They apparently arrested a bunch of Germans recently. They're going through people's phones. Like, this is meant to be the United States is meant to be the beacon of democracy and freedom and so forth. Well, it is anything but. This is what fascism actually looks like. It is awful in North Korea, and it is awful in Saudi Arabia, and it is awful in Iran. So we can all be honest about that. But when that sort of thing settles in to what we consider to be the free world, that is the erosion of any value that we actually stand for. So I bring business to the United States, right? I run tours. Well, I'm not going to now. It's shocking, but I woke up 3 days in a row worrying about flying down there. And then I talked to someone I know kind of on the inside who said, don't fly in if you're not an American citizen. Like, this is how terrible it is at the moment. So it's sad and it's shocking, but hey, I'm off to Europe in a few days. I can fly down to South America, a lot of beautiful places. And American friends are welcome up here, absolutely. But if you're gonna come up and wave a Trump flag, then, don't bother.
So y'all know them travel advisory reports that the United States loves to push out, basically telling us to not go to certain places because they're violent or it's not safe. Yeah, so the Department of Commerce has now issued a report showing a growing list of countries advising their citizens to not come to the United States, to not come and visit the United States. Yeah, now we are not the safe country. So I'm reading from an article that you can find on Forbes.com, right? So it says that the United States government reported a double-digit overall drop in international arrivals last month, with much bigger losses coming from Canada, Mexico, and lucrative Western Europe markets, suggesting foreign tourists are staying away in significant numbers due to the tariff backlash and even harsher immigration tactics. So I'm just going to read off some of these statistics. So in the Caribbean, they have seen a 26% drop from visitors and tourists. Africa, 10% drop. South America, 11% drop. Central America, 24% drop. Asia is a 1% drop. And now the two largest governments, or the two largest European markets, the United Kingdom is down 15%, and then Germany is down 29%. These governments are telling their citizens to not come over to the United States, not visit the United States, in fear that ICE agents will detain their citizens and not bring them back to their native land, which we see is the case here in this administration. If they come here, God forbid, get detained by ICE, ICE will not allow them to prove that they're visiting, will not allow them to prove their visas. They will most likely send them to a detention center and then ship them over to El Salvador's mega prison, just like they did with that teenage New York Bronx kid that's actually from Venezuela. Instead of deporting him to his native country, they deported him to the mega prison. Yeah. That's what they don't want to happen. Because if that happens, there's no way for people, their actual family and their government to even be made aware of what's going on, because ICE agents will not inform nobody. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was actually questioned on this yesterday during a press conference, to which she said, I haven't even seen the report. I haven't even seen the report. As the White House Press Secretary, is that not your job? Is that not your job to be aware and to manage the reputation of the government? Instead, she decided to say, while I haven't seen the reports and I would have to read it in order for me to effectively comment, I do believe that the administration that we're in right now is so much safer and so much better than the one that we were in previously 4 years ago. So I don't know why they would be advising their citizens to not come over here. It's because of this administration's policy and their harsh immigration tactics. That's why. These are tourists that often have to come over here on a visa. ICE agents are not allowing people to even prove their legal status. Why the fuck would anybody come over here? Just so you know, the United States makes $2 trillion in tourism. $2 trillion that we're starting to lose now. And that $2 trillion is tied up in the United States GDP, which is part of the reason why the US dollar is the world's reserve currency. That goes down. I think you know where I'm going with this. So now, thanks to this administration and all of its dumb policies, we are facing a possible recession, inflation. The entire world globally is laughing and mocking our democracy and our government. We are now starting to lose profit that we make on tourism. And as a New York City native, I'm not going to lie, we could use a little less tourism here in New York City. But overall, for American economy, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. Maybe if this administration wasn't too worried with trying to rack up and rally as many free slaves to ship over to that mega prison in El Salvador, we wouldn't have to be dealing with this. Just saying.
My heart is broken. If you're planning to come to the United States for any reason, for visiting, for sporting events, don't come. It's not safe. This administration has made it very difficult to make this country safe, regardless of who you are and where you come from. They're targeting everybody. And I blame Melania Trump, and I blame Steve Bannon, and I blame Steve Miller. Marco Rubio, who cares about him? He's puny. Don't come. Don't come.
Americans have started to leave the US because of the rise of authoritarianism. And this is something that should absolutely not be taken lightly. I literally saw a report this morning from Australia talking about how they have some applications from this year of people seeking human rights shelter because they are scared of what's going to happen to them. They want to have a backup plan if things go to shit so they can go to Australia and get a visa. And that's absolutely nothing new. Canada has also opened up a program to Americans that may potentially want to leave the country as a sort of political refugee. While that might sound crazy, we are absolutely entering into an era where this is something that people are starting to consider. Even some professors at Yale and other colleges in the US who teach about the rise of authoritarianism and fascism have left the US or have at least started to make plans to leave. And if that's not a wake-up call to other Americans to rally together to join the fight, I don't know what is. The president should not be able to send armed troops to terrorize American citizens. People should not be able to be kidnapped regardless of whether they're foreign-born or American-born, nor should they disappear. So I would really look long and hard into your decision to be apolitical right now because things are changing rapidly in a very bad direction.
Once upon a time, America was a symbol of success, stable jobs, safe, neighborhood, and a chance to build a future. But today, that dream feels more like an illusion. The cost of living has skyrocketed, rents are beyond people's reach, and healthcare is outrageously expensive, and even basic groceries cost double what they did just a few years ago. People are working 2 or 3 jobs just to survive, not to thrive. Immigrants who came with degrees, ambitions, and faith in the system are now struggling to pay rent, living paycheck to paycheck, and realizing that freedom comes from a price tag. Oh my God. Like, this is something else. The truth is, the American dream isn't dead. It's just not for everyone anymore. It's for, the wealthy, the connected, and the lucky people. Everyone else is stuck trying to survive in a system that keeps squeezing harder every single year. If you think America is all luxury and comfort, think again. Thousands of people sleep in tents. Like, I've seen videos of people actually in tents, right? People sleeping in their cars and all of that. Thousands of people sleep in tents, under bridges and highways. Entire families live on cars. I've seen that. Like, we've seen videos of that on social media. These are cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, where homelessness is so visible you can't even ignore it at this point. Okay, even those with jobs are struggling. Minimum wage hasn't kept up with inflation. Healthcare can bankrupt you from one hospital visit. Education costs so much that students graduate with degrees, decades of debt before they even start their own lives. Okay, and now for immigrants it's even harder. Many arrive without papers and end up doing backbreaking work in factories, farms, or cleaning jobs, the kind of labor most Americans want to do for wages that barely cover survival. And that's actually the breaking point for a lot of people, right? That's the breaking point. They live on fear of deportation, afraid to speak up or seek help if anything happens to them. So when you hear them say don't come, it's not out of selfishness. Is a warning, a plea to see the truth before making the same mistake that most of them actually made. Okay, another myth about America is that it's safe and organized, but the reality tells a different story. Gun violence, school shootings, and of course random acts of crime. And now everyday news. People can't even go grocery shopping or send their kids to school without worrying if they are going to get home safe. Okay, we've seen people actually complain of that and say that this is one of the reasons why they're leaving America for other countries, because they are scared for this singular act. For many immigrants who came from violent countries hoping for peace, Americans' version of safety feels like a cruel joke. Is one thing to fear poverty, is another thing to fear walking down the street. Okay, so many people have actually come out to really say that. And now with the whole travel advisory now telling people do not go to the US, go to another country instead, more and more people are not scared of even leaving their country to other places. There are actually people that have actually planned trips, okay, to the US. People have booked their flights or even planned to travel for one summer or the other. And during the summer, so many business owners in the US actually came out to say that they didn't make a lot of sales this holiday just because of everything that is happening. Not only the fear of the violence or anything like such, is the fact that ICE might just get them deported or get them, just pick them up and whatever. So a lot of people have now said, what, we are actually not going. And some countries telling their own people to not go to the US. It's one of the things that's actually, making headlines on social media, people talking about it and telling people don't come, just stay back in your own country. And then there's the issue of race, something America still haven't fully dealt with. For many Black, Latino immigrant communities, discrimination isn't just in the past, it's a daily experience. You can work hard, follow the rules, and still be treated like you don't belong. People change their accents, hide their heritage, or shorten their name just to fit in. Is emotionally exhausting. Okay, some immigrants admit that they face less racism in their home countries than they do in America. That's a painful truth, one that makes many say, if I had known what it really like, I would have never come, okay, in the first place. Someone actually made a video and said that the first time they actually understood what racism was when they moved to America. It was until then that they knew that they were Black. It was until then that they knew that the color of their skin was quite different. Okay, so a lot of people actually never knew that, right? Even me inclusive. I actually used to see most of these palm colored people, everybody white. Okay, no matter where you're from, India, wherever. Like, I used to see them as such until I started creating some of these videos. I started getting knowledgeable about who white people are and people who are not. Latinos are not, white and all of that. I'm like, are you serious? I used to think all of you actually white in the first place. Me inclusive, not another person. Well, it is what it is because I'm in Africa and we actually thought everybody that is black is black. Do you understand? Anyway, share your own take with me in the comment section. I'll really love to read from you guys. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. And credit to all creators on this video. See you all on my next. Bye, guys.